It is election day here in the United States, and Bitcoin is teetering at $70,000. It just has a little bit of a push to go up above that mark today. The miners are taking off, MicroStrategy blasting off. It is a beautiful day, but there are two things in particular I want to talk about this morning. One of them is not Bitcoin mining related, and one is we're going to talk about Palantir for one, because that thing is insane. And you need to know about this stock if you don't already. And we're going to talk about Bitfarms because it got a little bit scary yesterday, and it looks like it's doing some sort of recovery right now, and that's something that we're going to talk about as well. So Palantir, they had earnings yesterday. They absolutely destroyed it. Okay, they cannot be stopped. Every earnings lately has been a gap up, except for this one. No, it gapped up, but then it gapped down right after. Has been a gap up scenario. Not always gap up and go. Sometimes it's gap up and go. Sometimes it's gap up and come back down to earth. This time I think it's going to be a gap up and go likely because, well, one, the momentum's on our side here. You can see the all I need to see is this today, which it probably will likely today, the average force go up a little bit, and then I think we're chilling there. But earnings, okay, they beat EPS by 10%. They beat revenue by 2%, but that's not the thing that's super, super exciting. They, one, increased their commercial sales in the US. I think it was like something like 56%. That is a ridiculous number. Everyone was concerned that they wouldn't be able to break into commercial sales because they make government contracts. Well, they are proving that they can do both. They're proving that they can do both better than anyone else. Okay, their Rule of 40 score, and this is from the Motley Fool, and this is actually from yesterday. All right, so this was after earnings yesterday. The current Rule of 40 score on Palantir is 68. That is outrageous. That is ridiculous. The Rule of 40 basically says if a company can, here, let me bring it up here. I have it actually. So Rule of 40, financial metric usually for SaaS companies, which is what Palantir is, where you take the revenue growth and profit margin and you add those together, and it should be at least 40%. Okay, Palantir is at 68%. They're getting close to doubling the Rule of 40. That is unheard of. This is a ridiculous company. This is a money making machine. And if it is not on your radar, it should be on your radar. And if you haven't looked at it, you should definitely look at it. And of course, nothing I say is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. This is one I've got. This is one I've sold puts on. This is one I unfortunately sold covered calls on at 47.50 yesterday, thinking that there's no way it's going to pop up 20% like Tesla, right? And then it's up 17.46%. It's slightly in the money on my covered call that expires on Friday. So that sucks a little bit. I was thinking the EV crush would come in and save the day even if I got up there, and it almost did. I'm only down a little bit, whereas I could have been down a whole lot on that. But I might end up letting go of some of my Palantir shares at 47.50 here on Friday. And that's kind of okay because look where it is right now. It is trading hot right now. It's outside of the ATR bands. It's almost at the very top of the fib bands here. We're way off the 5, we're way off the 21, we're way off the 200. This thing could come all the way down to 38.53 and still be in like a crazy bullish move. This thing could drop $10 on a nearly $50 stock and still be crazy bullish and just be coming down to the second level of support, the second level of recent support. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for not necessarily that move. I just want the 5 to catch up to this thing. Honestly, I'm buying Palantir. That's what I'm doing. Not today. Of course, it is way too expensive at this time. It's outside of the ATR bands. Let's turn on the Bollingers real quick. Let's see where the Bollingers lie. Let me just turn on let me do both. Where's the Bollingers? We're outside of the Bollinger Band, and this is a 3x Bollinger Band. I've got Bollinger Band. I've got the multiplier on 3, meaning that like less than 5% of all candles print outside of the Bollinger Band on this thing right now. So this does need to come back a little bit. It's got to come back to earth, or at least do a sideways move, kind of like here. Notice here, like this thing touches or goes outside of the Bollinger Band, like not that infrequently. It's not infrequent, which is crazy. It's crazy. It won't stop. I think Wall Street finally figured out what Palantir is about, and finally figured out that they cannot not have this thing in their portfolio, and they are just buying it up left and right. It is nuts. Anyways, I'm looking at maybe the 5. Preferably, I'd like to come back to about 42. Around 42, I would sell puts at 42 personally. I would be very happy to pick this thing up at 42. I'd be really, really happy to pick this thing back up at 40 again. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for it to come kind of down. And then I would start selling puts on support for this thing, I want 1,000 shares of this thing. I want 1,000 shares of this thing, because you know what? This thing's going to be, $1 trillion company. It's going to be the next $1 trillion company, possibly, with the trajectory that it has been taking. Unless there's some kind of crazy scandal hiding, behind the curtain here. This thing is on its way. And that is my personal belief. Of course, nothing I say is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. And I would not buy Palantir at 48.94. That's a little rich for me, and it's outside of the 3 multiplier Bollinger Band. It's outside of the ATR bands. It's way off the 5. I'd like to see it calm down a little bit first. I'd like to see the 5 catch up. Now, we might see something like this right back here, where we had it come up way off the 5, right? And then it went kind of sideways, but still kind of going up until the 5 caught up, or back here where we gapped up and we just went sideways for 3 days, hit the 5, and then just kept going back up. We could do that. That could be that. If it does that, and if it does that, I guess I'm buying at like 49. This thing will not stop. It's still going. It's up 18.72% today. This thing is not going to stop today. But it might come back down tomorrow, or it may go sideways for the next couple of days. I'm not buying today out of principle. I don't like buying on earnings day. I don't like buying on knee-jerk reactions like this one. I would like to see it give back some of this gain here, because this is kind of outrageous. But I mean, this might be, besides NVIDIA, Palantir might be the only company actually earning this type of performance right now. So that is why it's on my radar. That is why it's in my portfolio. I am very happy to be holding Palantir. Have been since $23. I don't know if I'm going to get under $40 again after a showing like yesterday, unless they drop the ball one quarter and I'm like, yes, get it. And it's not something catastrophic. In that case, that's crazy though. Palantir, man, look at it. Take a look at it. Just dig into the fundamentals of this company a little bit. If you're only in Bitcoin miners, you should also be looking at things like Palantir. You should be looking at things like NVIDIA. You should be looking at things like Tesla, those sorts of things, right? If that's all you're in. I mean, they're a bit risky as well. They're not as risky as Bitcoin miners. And of course, they're much more risky than things like gold or something. But take a look at them. If that's all you're in, you should look at that diversification anyways. But of course, remember, nothing I say is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Anyways, station break. Go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe if you've been with us a while and haven't done so yet. Both of those things help our growing channel so much. You can't imagine how much it helps, and it just takes a second. Go ahead and do those things for us real quick. Go ahead and also check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio. We've got some excellent products on here, some awesome shirts and hoodies. Do not sleep on the sticker shop. That's a Redbubble link in the description, as well as the channel bio there. We've got some nice affordable stickers that have some excellent art from our t-shirts and hoodies as well. Let's get back into the action. The other thing I wanted to talk about is Bitfarms. Okay, Bitfarms. Bitfarms got spooky yesterday, and it's still spooky. Dang. Okay, I really wanted to see it come up above this line, this yellow line here. I really wanted to see it come up above this yellow line here yesterday and today. Average force is getting stronger to the downside. The momentum ribbons are they're flattening a bit, but the slow one is still wide open. The fast one is still pretty wide, and they're both pointing still the wrong direction, even if they are flattening out. That's not good. We need this thing. And the fact that it came up to 181 and rejected, we need this thing to come back up to 181 and close up there. It needs to do that. Now, the fact that it's riding this line still isn't the worst. That's actually kind of a good sign that it is still riding the line, because that means it doesn't want to let go of that trend line yet. It's not a true break of the trend line until you get a candle completely disconnected from it that's not touching it even with a wick. So until then, it is still technically within this trend line. Okay, yesterday spooked me pretty good because it came all the way down to 171, which means it went underneath that 172 line in the sand that I had drawn there, but it quickly retreated back up today from that. So, but the fact that it did wick there does mean that it made a lower low. Okay, it did make a lower low. So now we're looking at a potential megaphone style thing here, right? Where we're making higher highs and lower lows. Okay, we would have 3 touches on. Okay, can I draw this without it getting too crazy? I'm gonna try to draw this without it getting too insane. So let me go like here. No, we only got 2 touches. All right, great. 2 touches up here. Okay, 2 touches up there, and I think 2 touches on the bottom. Yeah, something like that. It's a really ugly one. That is actually really ugly. Oh no, hey, if I go further back, it works. Okay, let me look. Let me look. I think it works if I go further back. So we've got it starting about this swing here. Yep, about that swing there, and this swing down here. Okay, so it's not great. So I wouldn't put my money on that necessarily, but it is making higher highs and lower lows, which is technically a megaphone pattern. Will it now reverse up and make a higher high? I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't put my money on it necessarily because that'd be a big move real fast. But I am a little bit concerned about what's going on with Bitfarms right now. I would like to see this get above 181 today, or at least stay on this yellow line. As soon as I see it completely disconnected from this yellow line, we might be back in this aggressive descending channel here, and that is a bad place to be for us as Bitfarms holders. And I do still hold a little bit of Bitfarms, not as much as I did. I got rid of a lot between like 220 and 190, but I kind of saw this coming and I was like, ooh, that's bad. I didn't like some of these candles that came through, and I was not having a good time at that point in time. I saw the institutions kind of having an exodus moment from this ticker, and I said, I think something bad's coming. Anyways, and yeah, no, and it happened to all of them, honestly. It wasn't just Bitfarms. Like, they all kind of came down, and they're all up big time today, which is nice. But I just didn't like the particular placement that Bitfarms was and has been in for a little while now. And that's showing to be that instinct was correct in terms of just feeling that turbulence, I guess, incoming. Now we're not out of the we're not out of the woods yet, but we're not completely undone. All right, this trend line is very important. Okay, we do also still need to stay above 172. If we close beneath 172, that's when things get bad. The fact that we wicked under there isn't good, but it could be like a shakeout sort of moment. Okay, that could be the bottom, actually. The fact that we bounced off of that area and we're coming back up to the top of this big candle here. If we just get to like 184 today, we engulf this bearish candle, and that's actually going to be really good. And I would be looking for a pretty hard knee-jerk move up again. We do have a bit of a double top coming through on here, right here. We got top. We are currently operating beneath the neckline of that double top, which was at 190. That's not good. That's not ideal. But we did come to the bottom of it. We came to the bottom of that double top, so that is basically already completely played out. That particular formation doesn't really have any more juice to the downside. And we are in a bit of a descending channel right here. Let me draw it on here. I have so many drawings on this one because this one's just so much going on. Right here, boom. Like, we are in a bit of a descending channel. And we came to the bottom of it, right? The top of it is all the way back up at 232. That'd be a nice move. That would be a very nice move. And if we get out of that, we get above that 232 area, then we've got room all the way up to like 296, to possibly even $3 pretty easily. I do think that Bitfarms will quickly find its way back to $3 without too much trouble. Maybe even potentially this cycle, because it's got a lot to slog through to get there, but maybe even potentially back up to $4 here and match or go higher than that March high. I'd like to see it come back to, not that one. Is this a day? This is a day chart. Let's see, July, March, December. And this one was their June. Yeah, their June rally was weak. That was Riot really screwed them over on that one. But yeah, first we need to come up to 330, and then from there, if we conquer 330, I'd see $4 in the table. But this trend line is really important. This yellow one is really important, and I'll show you how important it is right now, actually, because this thing goes all the way back to the bottom of the bear. All the way to the bottom of the bear is where this trend line comes from. If this trend line breaks, that is real bad news. So we don't want to see that. Okay, it's from the very bottom of the bear market in 2022, and it needs to hold. It just needs to hold. If it doesn't hold, that is real bad. Oh, and look at us go! 182, 2 cents off. So by today, we'll know if it gets up above 183. I'm going to be feeling very, very good about Bitfarms and its near-term performance. Okay, I'm going to be feeling very good about that if we can get above, just above 183. Come on, give me 184 and close up there. That would be excellent, excellent, excellent for Bitfarms. And then I would see this thing coming back up at least to 190. Maybe even a little over $2 here in short order. We'd be looking at something maybe like this sort of pattern here, where we start making a bit of an ascending channel with a small bear flag, and then we take off again. That's what I'm kind of looking for right now to see if it'll do something like that. Give me that steep, aggressive ascending channel, little bull flag, and then boom, take off again for Christmas. That'd be great. That'd be really good. Let's see where are all of our bands and fib bands and stuff right now. Yeah, the fib bands are all the way up at 319. The top of it's all the way up at 364 on the daily. We're nowhere near any of the Bollingers. The Bollingers have gotten tight. So this is good too. So you can see here that the Bollinger Bands are getting really, really tight down here. That is compression of the stock. So when it breaks out, it's going to be big. Basically, when it breaks out, it's going to be something like back here in May 2024, where it was compressing and then boom. But this one's been compressing. Basically, it's been compressing since July. Just compressing. We're going to see a significant move out of Bitfarms when it decides to decompress. Okay, that is something to be aware of. And like I said before, if we get the prices down here, like if it comes down to 165, I'm buying. If it comes down to 152, I'm backing up the truck on this one. And I'm going to hold that thing. And again, if it gets back up above $2, I'm back into like half my position, half my previous position on Bitfarms. And that's kind of how I'm playing it. Like I'm not out of it forever. But I wouldn't load the boat at $2. I would go in about, half, maybe a third of my previous position, something like that. I would assess it at the moment. Because I do think it still will perform. I just think there's going to be slightly less performance than some of these other ones. But of course, I could be wrong, so I'm willing to take some of my position again and get back in at that rate. So that's what we're looking at right now. $70,000 in Bitcoin on this election day. Bitcoin's feeling pretty good about this. Look at this. We have this descending channel, and we are breaking out of it. That is beautiful. We close anywhere above where we currently are right now, basically anywhere above 69.7, and this is going to be a breakout candle, which is going to be very good, especially if we hold it tomorrow. Now that's really good. Now momentum doesn't necessarily agree with it, but to heck with momentum when the candle's up. No, I'm just kidding. You always got to watch the momentum. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Check out Palantir. Don't sleep on Palantir. Check it out. I wouldn't necessarily buy it where it currently is, but I would start looking into it, look for like areas of support that I may consider getting in on it. Of course, nothing I say is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Bitfarms gave us a scare yesterday, but it is getting back into some nice little areas there that are pretty promising what it's currently doing, so that's nice. Bitcoin's back over $70,000. We're feeling very good about that right now. We'll see if it holds for the day. And with that said, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description as well as the channel bio. Do not sleep on the sticker shop. That is also in the description and bio. And have yourself a profitable day.